Good morning. I thought that I would wake up this morning and do a video on my new Oracle deck that I got. So, I'm getting everything prepared. I'm drinking all my coffee and doing some laundry. Sorry, still kind of getting it together this morning. But, yeah, I got my candle going, my coffee, everything's going good. So I hope y'all are having a good morning too. And this is the Myths and Mermaids Oracle. And for some reason I've just been really thinking about this deck. I don't know if it was the artwork. I just thought they looked so cute. And the guidebook is pretty decent. I don't know if you can get the size of it, but there's my hand, so it's a pretty decent size, and I like the feel of the pages. It kind of reminds me of just an old book for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, there's the back. My phone will focus. And this is by Amber Logan and Kashina Micheletto, and the artist is Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So here we go. Here's the cards, and this is the back of them. And they're pretty decent size. Like, here's the guidebook with it. So, yeah, they're pretty big cards. The one thing that I didn't like about this deck is there's a few cards, maybe 2 or 3, that look really cartoony, like not like that. That looks like an actual portrait to me. But they're kind of cartoony, and I was kind of You know, it wasn't a deal breaker for the deck, but I just didn't appreciate those cards too much. I don't know why, but another thing that, and now it's not a deal breaker for the deck once again, but it makes it pretty hard if you're a beginner trying to intuitively read, because they look really sad. Like, all the little mermaids just kind of look like they've got tears in their eyes, and they've got the big sad puppy dog eyes. They look like they're sad, so I think for a beginner that would kind of mess with the intuitive aspect of it. And she's Venus with the cherubs. And see, this is one of the cartoony ones that I was talking about. If my phone will focus. So yeah, you can see the difference in them. But overall, I have a really good connection with this deck. I've done one for myself and one for my husband, a reading that is. And they're pretty accurate. I liked what they had to say, and I love the artwork on them. Like, I slept with them last night by my bed, and but you see, they're kind of just sad looking, but they're very beautiful cards. I'm actually taking them to my grandmother's house today, and I'm going to do a reading for my grandmother. This is A Certain Slant of Light. And this card, the meaning behind it was there's basically light at the end of the tunnel. You're not going to be stuck in the dark. Don't lose hope type of card. I like her. There's Storm Chaser. I really like this card. There was one card in particular that I was drawn to as soon as I opened it and flipped to it, and I looked through the guidebook to see what that specific card meant, and look, there's the tree man. See him? But anyway, I looked at what it meant, and basically it's saying that somebody's watching me, which kind of creeped me out. It told me not to overdo my job, but don't slack off either because I'm being watched. And I drew that card after I was initially drawn to it when I was flipping through and looking at all the artwork. I drew it twice, just doing one card draw. And so I was kind of like, what does this mean? Who is it? But anyway, about this card, this is the Absinthe Mermaid, and she is about addiction. Basically, if she's at her normal stance, like if she's not reversed, if she's sitting like this when you do your draw, it's telling you not to get lost in your addiction, to basically shake yourself out of it. When she's in reverse, it's basically saying, let me see, let me look her up just to be sure so I don't give false information. Okay, so if she's in reverse, it's a commitment card. You need to commit in more areas of your life, settle down for the long term, stop renting and borrowing what you can purchase. So yeah, that's what she's about. And I thought she was a pretty cool looking little chick. But yeah, this is the Myths and Mermaid Oracle. And the artwork is great. The feel of the card is great. The cardstock is not too thick. They are shuffleable, even as big as they are. So yeah, just a really pretty deck, and depending on your first impression, they can be dark, they can be kind of sad and depressing, but to me the color kind of brings that out if you're not just looking directly at their eyes, which I can't help but see. She just looks like she's crying. And the gloss, you can see the gloss. I'm right in front of a window, so it might look a little more. It's not too bad. There's not too much sheen on it to where it's miserable, but it's there. So I'm going to show a couple more cards, and I'm going to move on to something else that happened yesterday while I was out. My husband and I, we went to the Salvation Army, and I just happened to find this, whoa, come on. I happened to find this book that I've been looking at Hastings for quite a while, but I didn't want to pay the price for it. So when we went to the Salvation Army yesterday, it was sitting directly on top of another pile of books. When I walked by, it was the first thing that caught my eye. And I've been looking for some Native American books because that's just the path that I'm on. So anything Native American is kind of like pulled towards me, or I'm pulled towards it, vice versa. But anyway, here's the book, Empire of the Summer Moon. It's about the rise and fall of the Comanches, and it even talks a bit about Colonel Custer and him being the awful, you know what, that he was causing the massacre and all that stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys some of the Myths and Mermaid deck and share with you my little story of of this book that that I guess was just meant for me to have. Oh, and the best part about this book is, okay, look at the price. $27.50 for the US, $36 for Canada. So I got this at the Salvation Army for $1. Yeah. So it was meant for me to have this book, so I started reading on it a little bit last night, and I will let y'all know how that goes. So anyway, I just wanted to share with y'all my new deck, and as I play with them a little more and get a feel for them and all that good stuff, I will let you know how they go, and I will do a follow-up on the book to let you know how it is, and I will do those videos, and I hope y'all have a great Sunday. And as always, blessed be.